Hello, this is the first update video for the Underhell in Unreal Engine 4 project. This project is currently being built using the Unreal Engine 4 version 4.19 and C++. You'll notice throughout the video that I am using sounds, models and textures that are either from Underhell or Half-Life 2. These are just placeholder items only, and they're mainly there to help me build parts of the game quickly. So as you can see, I'm just on this main menu at the moment, which is using sounds from the original game. I just put this together quickly just so I could do this introduction for the video, but the basic idea for all of these assets is to be able to import the original assets, develop the code and develop the systems that make them work, and then come back at a later date and replace those models and replace those sounds and move on. So the level that I'm just about to play is in what is called the blockout phase, and this is where you can see the overall layout and shape of each room. These rooms are also missing models and textures and lighting, so they are very basic. They serve a good purpose of being able to test scale as well as various game mechanics and things like that. So my goal for this project is to see how much I can create of the prison and see if I can possibly release this as a demo that others could play in a sort of sandbox scenario. So for example, you could download the demo and explore a large part of the prison, interacting with items, picking up weapons and testing all of the various systems from the original game, just to get a feel of how it might look and play in the Unreal Engine. Just want to say Underhell is one of my favourite games. I think it's absolutely excellent, and I really just want the author of the game to just know how passionate people are for the actual game and the story itself. So another thing is, I won't release the project unless appropriate permission has been given to do so. I'm not trying to tread on anyone's toes with this, I'm simply just doing this as a fan of the game and as a learning exercise. So if I start the demo now, you'll see I've entered the airlock or security checkpoint, I think it is, from the original game, and you can see that everything is very basic. The layout of the room is there, but it is missing a lot of textures and props and textures on the on all of the models as well. This is the area where you have to flip those 3 switches on the wall to cycle in and out of the room. So on screen you've got the HUD in the corner there for the health, the armor, the endurance and the stamina, and there's a couple of areas of the HUD which are still hidden or will show up throughout the video, and these are things like your flashlight, your battery count, your objective and your grenades and things like that. So as you can see, if the player starts to jump, you'll slowly lose stamina. The stamina will slowly regenerate. If you use too much stamina, you'll hear that the player is either not able to jump or he plays a sound to indicate that he is tired. And this also applies to burning stamina when you sprint as well. So if I move to this door in front of me here, this door is an object that you can actually interact with if you press the use key. So I've built the door in a way that mimics how the original game works with the source engine. So if anyone listening has used the source engine, you'll know what I mean by being able to place a door and specify what model it is, what sound it makes, how fast it opens, if it's locked, and in the case of Underhell, if the door can be kicked open. All of these properties are all made as part of this door object, and then all you simply do is just place the door wherever you want in the level, and it'll just mean that you can very quickly just build all of these levels. It'll basically mean that you can create all of these areas a lot quicker without having to worry about putting things in place beforehand in order for the door to work. This also means that the door can be interacted with in the same way as you would expect in the source engine. So buttons to unlock doors and everything can all still work in the same way, which makes it easier for me when I'm trying to replicate how the game works in Unreal Engine 4, if I can look at the way the original game was built and sort of translate some of that code and some of the inputs over. So because the door object can be reused, you can see that I used it there on the medical cabinet. So I'm able to open the medical locker door, and that's using the same object as the door that I just opened, and as you can see I can pick up the items in the locker. So if I head over to the door, I can press the kick key, and that forces the door open away from the player, and that's a specific property on that door that specifies if the door can be kicked open. So I think again, if you've tried modding Underhell or you've tried creating your own custom level, you'll probably recognize some of these some of these properties. Also, what I'm doing here is I'm just showing the flashlight. I know it's a really crap flashlight, but you can press the key, slowly drain your batteries, and as you cycle through your batteries you eventually get to the point where you can't use the flashlight at full strength anymore. So now I've entered this area here, you'll see that I get a message on screen to show me where I've just moved to, and this is something that I've created as an object that you could just drag and drop into various parts of the level. What I'm trying to do is approach this in the way that I'm designing a lot of the systems that I would hand over to someone else who would go in and build levels using all of these objects, so they could easily just place down these doors, they can easily place down volumes and triggers and all these different objects in order to just build a whole level by themselves without having to actually go in and actually write code or do anything special just to get these things to work. What I can do now is I can just enter this office here and just extending upon what you can interact with. There's a locker with a grenade, a couple of batteries. You can also interact with desks and open the drawers, and there is also a playing card that you can pick up. And you see in the top right corner it shows you the number of cards as well as playing the sound, and then if you press the tab key, which is your hint key, it shows you your current objective and the number of cards. So one other thing to just show is the pain system or the damage system of the game. Now, I've still got a lot of work to do on this, but what you can see is there's a cloud of poisonous gas that I've just added here temporarily. So what I'll do is if I equip the gas mask and then walk into the volume of poisonous gas, you can see that my health doesn't go down. And if I leave the volume, remove the gas mask and walk back in, you'll see that I start to take damage and the player starts to make a coughing noise to indicate that there is to show that they're taking damage. So there is a Kevlar vest that you can pick up as well, and that just increases and adds to your armor value. So there's not really anything else to show in this area. There's still a few things that are unfinished, but I'll maybe post a picture of some new models or some new areas or something at some point. So this security checkpoint here you can see is a couple of Half-Life 2 boxes on the left, and there were originally some mesh fences from Half-Life 2, and I replaced those with new models of my own, which you can see there. And that's the general process that I take, is I'll use something temporarily to help build an area, and then I'll replace it with something of my own later. As you can see, the layout of the canteen is mostly complete. There's obviously still a lot missing, a lot of details, but in terms of the important objects, they're all there. So if I carry on from the canteen area and move into the locker room, it's a similar situation really, that there's things like lockers and ventilation systems missing, which I am still working on. You can see there's a couple of the adjacent rooms here, and just a couple more things that you can interact with. Nothing really special here, and through the shower area is the cell block, which I'm still working on. I had made a few things for that, which I'm still sort of importing into this project. So if I move back through to the laundry room, so now I'm in the west block. You can see that there's a few basic rooms there. Still a lot missing obviously, but if I move to the end of the block, there's an office. Nothing in here yet, but there is a ventilation system there which I am going to work on. This door is locked. I think it's one of the power rooms, and if I head back to the canteen, that's all there is for now really. So I'll make another update video as soon as I get time, and yeah, see you soon.